there, and please do not allow that to happen again. That's not acceptable.
Understood, Your Honor. Quietly, because I'm sure that you're.
I'm sorry? Oh, no, I don't want you to be quiet, because then we can't pick you up on the recording there.
Thank you, Your Honor. Kyle Thompson appearing on behalf of Misty Cruz, who stands to my right.
Thank you, and your name, please.
Misty Cruz.
Are you picking her up?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for addressing appropriately for court. So two things. First, counsel, I wanted to address a couple of things. Number one, it's my understanding that your client did not turn her firearms over to the Riverview Police Department as ordered as a condition of bond by this court, and that you have them for safekeeping.
I do, Your Honor, and I will abide by the court's order to turn those all over.
That is what the court required. And in fact, the court required that at the date of arraignment. And the court indicated they were to be turned over to Riverview Police Department for safekeeping. And quite honestly, counsel, you don't have the authority to not comply with the court's order. If there's something that you would like to file a motion on for those to be returned to your custody during the pendency of this action, then that's the time that you would request that. But those absolutely should have been turned over to Riverview Police Department as soon as she was released.
And Your Honor, I apologize for that. I wasn't retained at the time. I immediately filed a motion when I was retained with the court. It's been my practice. I work with prosecutors that typically we're allowed to safekeep property for a client. I do apologize to the court that since my motion is coming after that. I will abide by the court's order.
Well, yes, and quite frankly, counsel, and I can understand that there may be courts and other and prosecutors and stuff that you work with that may do things differently. However, if you're filing an appearance in a matter and you're in a court and you're unsure of something, number one, you can contact the court to find out. And number two, there's a court order. Unless that order is changed, that order stands.
Understood, Your Honor.
And so you have those firearms now?
Yes, they are locked up in the safe at my office.
Okay, I feel like there are some other issues that you're opening yourself up to, but those have to be over to the Riverview Police Department by noon.
Can I clock hearing in Dearborn? Could I have until 2 p.m.?
2 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
They must be over there, and please do not allow that to happen again. That's not acceptable.
Understood, Your Honor.
And then you filed a motion to amend bond conditions, and I'm not sure, actually, I need Mr. Chandra. Joe, can you have Omar jump in here for a quick moment, please? Thank you. Counsel, when were you retained?
On Friday of last week.
Okay, so the 8th. And so, counsel, why, I'm going to ask this question of your client. Ms. Cruz, why did you not, when were you released from Riverview Police Department?
Tuesday.
Okay,
I don't know the date, I'm sorry.
so why did you still have those guns at your home or in your possession instead of at the Riverview Police Department on the 5th, or at least the 6th even?
Officer Lyles gave me until Sunday to turn in the weapons, and I turned them over to my attorney on Saturday. Officer Lyles said as long as I had them in by Sunday, that was my last date, and I was advised by my lawyer to give them to him, so I did on Saturday.
Okay, there's no talking in court. Counsel, if you have to speak to your client, please go out in the lobby, okay, please? Because it's picking up on the recording. Okay, well, that's problematic as well. There's a reason this court orders the weapon to be turned over for safekeeping in certain matters. So.
One of the firearms was in Tennessee.
No, the firearm was not in Tennessee,
Oh,
but they were in my fiance's safe, and he was in Tennessee, so he drove back. So Lyles gave us till Sunday to turn them over to the police department.
And you didn't have access to the safe?
No, no.
So you have your weapons at in a safe at his home that you don't have access to?
We just purchased the weapon and I haven't had the weapon on me since we purchased it. It was fairly new. I just got it not too long ago.
Okay,
It was a gift from him.
okay. All right, so, Mr. Shajra, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Shahar on behalf of the people, P86332.
All right, thank you. This is on the matter of Misty Cruz, and council had filed a motion that we received on Monday, or Tuesday, regarding a motion to amend bond conditions and brief and support. Did you receive a copy of that motion?
That is correct.
Okay, and obviously, since today is only the 14th, then there was not notice either regarding setting it for a hearing. However, given your client, the dates that your client wants to travel, it has to be today. So, council, as to your motion, and then Mr. Shajal, I'll hear your response.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client, weeks ago, paid for and had planned to travel to Tennessee to attend a Belonging conference, religious conference, a 3-day conference beginning this evening, with her family, her fiance and kids. She paid approximately $720 some for this conference. This DV is alleged to have occurred a week ago. Your Honor, we would ask that she be able to leave the state of Michigan with her family to attend this conference. Second in my motion.
Okay, pause just a moment. Let's handle that first, and then we'll get to the next one. Mr. Shajra, your appearance in that matter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Shahar on behalf of the people, P86332. There's no objection to the amended travel restrictions.
Okay, and so, ma'am, the court does have a copy of your order and registration as relates to that. When did you register for this?
I don't think he has the exact dates. It was weeks ago. It's our home church that we do. Back in July, I'm not sure exactly. I could get it for you.
No, that's okay. Who's Cole's agent?
That is my fiance's son.
And so who is Jared, your fiance?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out all these names on here.
Bryn is also my fiance's daughter.
Okay, and then James and Jada are yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and you're driving there or
Yes,
flying?
we are driving. Jared is driving us down.
All right, the court will grant your permission to travel to Tennessee today and you're returning Sunday, correct? Saturday, September 16th. You're returning Saturday or Sunday?
We'll be returning Monday morning. It was between Sunday and Monday morning, so we do church service on Sunday as well, and it's an 8-hour drive back, so.
Or don't the kids have school on Monday?
They do. We did take it off for the conference. We put it in with the office as well.
So I'm a little confused. The conference is over Saturday, and so you're attending church down there.
Yes. We do a celebration on Sunday after the conference.
Okay. You have to already return by Monday, September 18th. Okay, and so council, the next,
The next issue, Your Honor, my client and her fiance owns a business that operates in both Michigan and Tennessee. And they have been traveling back and forth to Tennessee. They have a residence in Tennessee. Every couple of weeks, they go down there to manage the business, and my client works with her fiance in the operation of the business. We would ask that she be permitted to have a standing order that allows her to travel there for business purposes. She will attend every court hearing in person. She is here today. She has retained my services to represent her. No criminal history, never been a flight risk, and intends to appear before.
And what type of business is it?
It's a tree service company. Based out of Nashville.
How long have you been working for the company?
I just started at the very end of August. I left the company in Ann Arbor that I was at for 5 years, so I've been with him since the end of August. But I started training probably around August 15th. I started training down in Nashville.
And Mr. Shadra?
There's no objection to the travel for work purposes.
All right, so I'm not going to give a standing permission. Your client will have to just submit her itinerary as to when she's leaving and when she's coming back, when she's intending for that. sort of that, excuse me, if there's any, if there's anything that may come up, we have that information, okay? I don't anticipate anything being denied, but not just carte blanche to travel everywhere. She has to still keep the probation department informed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you had something else on there in your motion as well?
My last issue, the currently ordered as a term of her probation that she be allowed to have contact with the victim for parenting time coordination. My client strongly believes that this is going to be a problem. They typically both attend the kids' sporting events and would both be present. We anticipate the victim is going to show up to a sporting event, which could arguably be a violation of her bond condition. As a solution to this, we would ask the court order that she not attend the sporting events when it's father's parenting time. I understand the court doesn't have jurisdiction over the victim. However, we'd like an order that states that the parties are not to be at events during the other's parenting time. And it there be something written by the court that says that the victim is directed not to attend events. I'm sure the victim advocate could.
Okay, well, first, I think that that's a slippery slope that I'm getting into the Third Circuit Court Family Division jurisdiction on that issue. I don't want to affect the children any more than they have already been affected. I'm not going to indicate that neither party can attend a sporting event to support their children. I'm not going to do that. I can understand your concern regarding potential bond violation, but if there's not any contact at that sporting event, then there shouldn't be an issue. I didn't indicate that they couldn't be in the same what's the word I'm looking for? Venue or something, like that they couldn't be within a certain distance of each other. I just indicated no contact unless there's an issue regarding parenting time. So, and I would think that at a sporting event, they're not going to be the only two individuals there. So that would actually probably benefit your client even to support her position if at some point she's indicating that there wasn't any contact and somebody's alleging that there was, right? So I'm not going to restrict either parent from attending the sporting activity or school function or anything like that. You don't have any parent-teacher conferences coming up within the next before your next court date, do you?
Not that I know, not yet. No.
Okay.
They just started.
Okay, so because if there was parent-teacher conferences, if they couldn't accommodate separate times and you have to go together, there would be contact, so we could address that. However, the no contact is just no contact, but if you're, what sport is it?
My son plays baseball, yeah, and I've had to miss a couple of his games already, and it affects him drastically, so I respect for, I've always been there, so.
Well, no, and I didn't intend for that to happen at all. I mean, you're outside, you don't have, somebody can be on the third baseline, someone else can be on the first baseline, just don't sit in the same bleachers or bring a chair, sit down the fence, whatever it is. Okay? All right. Anything else regarding your motion, council?
Your Honor, the last issue, I think you denied my request to safeguard the weapons.
I did. Okay. All right, and so then the request, to adjourn the free trial. Mr. Parikh, I certainly hope you're not driving, so you need to pull over right now. Okay. Okay, and so how long, council, do you need?
I would expect 3 weeks, Your Honor.
3 weeks?
2 weeks, maybe? I've been provided a copy of the police report, however, seems to be severely redacted. I would ask for an unredacted copy and digital discovery, which the prosecutors.
I'm sorry, which part?
The prosecutor's indicated he's requested.
Okay, and council asked to the request regarding an unredacted police report.
Judge, I will be tendering both paper and digital discovery and unredacted.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's do September 28th. Will that work? Will that be sufficient time?
Your Honor, I would hope that would be sufficient time.
Okay. All right, September 28th. Does 9:30 work?
What's me, Your Honor?
Okay. All right, bond and conditions are continued. And just make sure those firearms are there by 2, council, okay?
Your Honor, I have drafted an order. Can I submit this to the court? Regarding the state of Michigan Navy.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
May I
Yes,
approach?
yes, thank you.
Couple things will have to be crossed off, Your Honor.
Okay, so council, do me one favor, okay?
Yes.
When you get back to your office, if you can change the 16th to the 18th, and then just indicate the caveat regarding her traveling for work to indicate she needs to communicate her itinerary for that as far as travel there and back. Remove the part or just indicate that you're to return, have those to Riverview Fire or Riverview Police Department by 2 p.m. And then you can remove that last paragraph regarding sporting events, because there was nothing that precluded her from being there. If you'd like to indicate that she may attend, that's fine too. Then I can sign that. You can just email it back in. You can just email it back in, and then I can sign that.
Will do, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day.